Hello, my beloved students. How are you today? Let's continue our lesson. We are talking about nonmetals and metalloids. As we said before, that nonmetals they lack the property of metals. They are bad conductors. They have low melting point. They are not malleable. They are not shiny. And we have talked about the metals, the nonmetals that are found in group 14, 15, and 16. And we said that the elements that are found in group 17 are called halogens because they form salt when they react with metals. Now, let's discuss the elements of group 18. The elements in group 18, we call them noble gases. We call them noble gases because they are noble, they don't react with other elements. They normally don't react with other elements. Only they can react with other elements only under specific condition in the laboratory. So they are not found as a compound in nature. Those elements are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Those are the inert gases or the noble gases. So they don't react. They are chemically inactive. Some of their uses, because they are unreactive or they are inactive, they are safe to use. Like helium, we use it in filling the balloons, the celebration balloons. Argon, we fill light bulbs with them. Neon, we use it in advertising signs because they change its color and it glows. Krypton, we use it in lasers. Xenon, we put it in car headlights, and also we put it in daylight as it gives blue tint. So we have talked about the nonmetals found in group 14, 15, 16, and 17, and the noble gases in group 18. The remaining non-metal is hydrogen, and the hydrogen is the smallest atomic mass in the periodic table. Its atomic mass is 1. It has only one proton in its nucleus. It doesn't have any neutrons. And it is the most common element in the universe. So more than 90% of the atom in the universe are made of hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen we classified as non-metal because it have many properties of non-metal. Like for example, it's a gas at room temperature. However, we put it in group 1 with group 1, the alkali metals, because it also shares some properties of the alkali metals. Like for example, in liquid form, when we turn hydrogen from gaseous form into liquid form, it can conduct electricity. So in a gaseous form, it doesn't conduct electricity, while if we turn it into a liquid, it can conduct electricity. Also, it can enter in some chemical reaction and act as alkali metals do. So that's why we put it in group 1 with alkali metal, because it shares some properties of alkali metals. So we have talked about nonmetals, and we now know everything about nonmetals. Where can I find them in the periodic table? In group 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. While hydrogen, we can find it in group 1. Between the metals and the nonmetals on the periodic table are elements known as metalloids. So metalloids are elements that has physical and chemical properties of both metals and non-metals. They have some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals. So you cannot consider them as metals, and also you cannot consider them as non-metals because they have some of both properties. Those elements are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium, astatine. All of those are called metalloids. As you can see in their picture, they look shiny, so they look like metal, but also they have also other property that make them or share with non-metals. Silicon is one of the most abundant, is the most abundant metalloid in the universe. We can find it. Silicon, we use it, we have many applications for silicon in our daily life. This is, as you can see the picture, this is how a sample of pure silicon looks like. And we use it in making silicon chips inside computers, television, and so on. A good property and something makes them so special is that metalloids have the ability to act as a semiconductor. So a semiconductor is something that will conduct electricity under certain condition. So a semiconductor is an element that will conduct electricity at high temperatures only. So metalloids at high temperature, they act as metals, so they will conduct electricity. While at low temperature, they act as non-metal and they will not conduct electricity. And this property makes them very useful in making electronic devices as computer and television. Silicon, we said before, that is one of the most abundant element on Earth. You can find silicon. It takes part in many compounds. You can find it in sand, clay, and many rocks and minerals. And we extract and pure silicon, we use it in making electronic devices and in computers and so on. Also, germanium is another metalloid that we use it as semiconductor. Another metalloid, boron, we use it in water softener and cleaning products or laundry products. Boron also, we put it in fireworks because it gives green color or green glow to the fireworks. So it changes the color of the fireworks into green, that gives us a very good color. So now we know about the metals and non-metals and metalloid. So we can know that from the place of metal elements, from the position of elements in the periodic table, we can know about it. Like if you know that this element is found in group 18, so you know that it's an inert or a noble gas, so you know that it's not or unreactive or it's a non-reactive element. Or if it's found in group 1, you know it is highly reactive element. So according to its position, like for example, if I looked at sulfur, from its position, I can know it's a non-metal. So I know it's a non-metal, so it breaks easily. It's not ductile. I cannot make it from it wires. So, and it will not conduct electricity because it's non-metal. Oxygen, I cannot use it as semiconductor because it's not metalloid. Sodium, of course, sodium is a metal, but still it's soft. It's a group alkali metal. It's group 1, so it's a very soft metal, so I cannot use it in building materials. Also, you can find elements in the transition elements. We know that transition elements are strong and they are malleable. They don't react easily with water and oxygen, so they can, and they are less reactive. So we know that they can be very useful in building materials, use them in building materials. So the periodic table gives us idea about elements, and according to their position, we can know a lot about those elements. We can know we can conclude their chemical and physical property, and we can conclude their use as well. That's it for today. Thank you. See you next time.